Hey everybody, what this tutorial is going to be on is installing from source actual PHP, Apache, and I'm also going to install MySQL, except I'm going to install the MySQL from the yum packaging inside of Fedora, because right now currently there's a bug on one of the modules or one of the libraries that's required to compile MySQL. So for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do MySQL. That's not going to be from source, but PHP and Apache web server are all going to be from source. And you can theoretically do this on any Linux server. Since it is source, the only things that are going to change are going to be possibly you might need different libraries for each one, and some may have the libraries already included. So I'm going to show you that first. Basically, go on the web here, and I'll shrink this down so you guys can see it. I just want to say where I got this from is I went into Fedora.org. That's where I ran on the web. I think that's correct. Might not be. Looks like it's taking too long. Oh, it's Fedora Project. My mistake. So I went to Fedora Project and I went to the download page, and this is the current version that I'm using, which is Fedora 18 Desktop Edition. So I just wanted to show you. And I have VirtualBox, one of the newest versions of VirtualBox as well. Go under Help and About VirtualBox. And you can see that I'm using 4.214 release 86644. Just so you know, it's one of the newest ones, okay? So I'm just going to show how to create this. I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to actually select this as a Linux environment. And Fedora 64-bit is what I have. I'm going to go ahead and call my installation YouTube, and just to show you what I'm doing with this. My particular machine's got 16 gigs of RAM in it, so I'm going to put about 4.48, which is about 4 gigs of RAM, and click Next on it. It's just recommended. It just makes the whole thing move a little bit faster. Leave it as dynamically allocated to create this, and I'm going to add this to be about 80 gigs to do what I want to do here. And my hard drive is being named as YouTube. So click Next on it, and you probably can hear my son in the background. He's got to sit out here with me, so just so you know, he's trying to say hi, Dada. Alright, so now you see that I've created this. So now this is just showing you how it's set up. I need to go to the settings on this so that you guys know how to make this work correctly, so you can get out to the web and everything functions. So now I'm going to go to, not storage just at the moment, I'm going to go to display, and that looks okay in there. I could probably go up a little bit higher on the memory on that, but we're not doing any graphics on this, so it's not really necessary. I do want to go to system and highlight the CD-ROM, and let's bump that one up to the first default booting, and the hard drive is the second booting. I'm going to go to the processors. I particularly have a 8-core processor, or 4-core processor, so I'm going to go ahead and drag this up to 4 cores, and acceleration is all turned on, and pretty much everything in here is okay. I don't see anything we need to add. Let's go back to storage and highlight the CD-ROM, and let's select, I've already downloaded Fedora here, so I'm going to select choose a virtual drive, and let's go ahead and download this right here. You guys can see this, and I'm going to go ahead and start the install on this. So that's all there is to installing this, and just so you can see it start up here, and I'm going to install Fedora on here. So that's the end of this part of it, and I'm going to start up, but I'm going to add the two videos together so you're going to see it as a seamless image. But I'm going to go ahead and install Fedora here. Alright, thank you very much. Alright, well, it looks like we got it all. Fedora is completely installed. So now we need to update Fedora. So that's under, we want to go to the activities, and we want to open up a terminal. Okay, and that terminal is here. I just type in the first 3 letters and it'll bring it up. You need to log in as root. And there we go, logged in as root. Oh, whoops, hold on here a second. This is kind of a common mistake. You notice this says live user on here? So what it did is it didn't give a chance to reboot. So just remember that you need to turn the CD-ROM off. You need to turn the CD-ROM off. So what you have to do is you want to come down here, and I want to turn the CD off here, force it to unmount, and then I'll go ahead and restart the machine here. Alright, so booting up to the first screen, it shows you this one here. So I'm going to put in a simple password in here. Now I just created a YouTube account. This is the ordinary user, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this on there. Sometimes they'll prefer to add as administrators group, but I'm going to log on as suroot every time that I do any kind of compiling anyways, which is administrator on a Unix machine or Linux machine. So this is just finishing the account and setting it up. Alright, you see that I'm actually booting from this machine, because if you notice on there it says YouTube, and I added a basic account for YouTube. And let's go ahead and put in the password for it. And first things first is I need to upgrade the system, because there's a lot of patches and things like that that the system needs so that you can install a GCC compiler. And it looks like it's loaded up here, so let's take a look at that. And let's go to Activities, and then type in the first 3 letters of a terminal, because we need to bring up a terminal. And I'm going to go ahead, first thing I'm going to do is suroot, enter in the password for the root. And now you notice by the pound or the hashtag or whatever you want to call it, £, you can see that I'm logged in as root. So the first thing I want to type in is yum upgrade, and it'll get started here. Takes a second for this to come up, but this is one of the first things you need to do. There we go. It's grabbing them right now. It's getting ready to update. So I'll let this just kind of go through for just a second so you guys can see this. And going through it pretty easily right now. Looks like it's reached the internet no problem. And I'll go ahead and answer yes. Start the upgrade process on it. It's downloading the packages and upgrading. I'm going to go ahead and pause it, and it's going to do about 1,180 updates. So be prepared. It's going to take a little while. Look at the total size. It's 572 megs plus 26 dependent packages. So just so you know, it's going to update quite a bit to be able to get everything in line so that we can start doing some source compiling. So hang on here a second. I'm going to pause, and then we'll be right back. Alright, looks like we logged in here. Let's go ahead and log back in. And it looks like we updated everything really good. So let's start off with installing the GCC compiler. So you type in yum space install space GCC -C++, and then hit enter on it. And then answer yes when it prompts you. And this again is to install the GCC compiler. There's a few things that we have to download to install. Yeah, this doesn't take too dreadfully long. It's pretty surprisingly it's pretty quick. Looks like I won't have to pause it. Looks like it's almost done. Looks like it's loading over the last one here. And there it goes. It's installing it. It's usually pretty quick. Alright, it's done. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to install MySQL. So I believe in installing MySQL first, and until they fix a bug in one of the libraries that's required to do MySQL, I'm either going to have to figure out how to make the patch work that they have for it right now, or I'm going to have to wait till they fix what's wrong with it. So I'm going to go ahead and install MySQL from source or using the yum command. It's yum install space MySQL space MySQL dash server. Hit enter on it. And if it seems like that's going a little too fast, what you need to do is you'll need to pause the video so you can see what I installed on that again. Again, it's yum space install space MySQL space MySQL dash server. And you see it installs server quite quickly. We do need to do a couple of commands so that we can set it up so that it will actually start up every time you turn it on, and we can start it up for the first time as well. So sorry about my creaky chair here. Looks like it's done downloading it. It's installing them. Yeah, it looks like MySQL is installed. MySQL. All right, we need to start up the MySQL service and get it started. So it's sys. Whoops. Systemctl. Start MySQL service service. Failed to load or set no such directory. Whoop! I think I made a typo. Oh, I did. It is MySQL service D. That's what it is. So we need to put a D right there. Hit enter on it. And you can see the MySQL service is starting. It did. And let's put the same command on there, but just change to where it says enable. This will enable it to turn on every time you turn on your Fedora. Every time you reboot it or you shut it down, it'll automatically start up. Okay, so let's hit enter on that, and now that's set up. And let's go ahead and log into it, -u, and then root. And there we go. Now you should set a password. I would highly recommend that you set a password in, but just kind of give you some basic commands on MySQL. So let's say show databases with an S and then colon. And you can see there's some databases in there. We could create a database. So create database, and we'll call it YouTube semicolon. A little bit of a delay when you're running this inside a VirtualBox, so hit enter on it, and look at that. Let's do show databases, and then it comes up and you can see it right there. There's the YouTube one that I created right there. So I could go through creating some tables, but you guys, if you're loading MySQL, you probably should already know what it is. But I will say this: if you guys want to learn how to do MySQL tables, I can definitely do that. Our databases with tables, I can definitely show how to do that, and then make a simple database to connect to it as well. So if you guys are interested in it, you guys need to tell me that. Post it here on YouTube, and I'll go ahead and continue and make a tutorial on that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel or exit out of that. Since now you know that MySQL is running in the background, I'm going to go ahead and clear the screen here. So now I need to download a few tools here. So number one, I mean, mainly it doesn't really matter the order you do it in, but there's a couple of things you need to compile first before you can compile everything you need to. So now we're going to install PHP and Apache from source code. So let's go ahead and go to Activities and then go to the Firefox server. And we're waiting for that to come up. And as you guys can see that I'm loading this directly from download from source. And if you can check here, here's the normal page, just so you guys can see, like say for an MSN page, you can see that this is a current date on there. Snowden's on there and everything, so you know it's current events that are going on right now. Alright, so let's go to php.net and let's go ahead and click on the downloads on PHP, and let's pick the newest one, which is a complete source code here for the current stable edition, which is 5.50. Let's download it. Let's pick the United States as one of the first ones on here. It looks like it was saying pick that one, but let's see. Hopefully this won't give us any trouble. Yeah, looks like it's downloading it no problem. Alright. And let's go ahead and go to the Apache website. Apache.org. And once I get here, I'm going to go ahead and go to the download on this site as well. And this is the current one. As of 7/1/2013, I'm going to pick any one of the mirrors here on the download. And there's a couple of things we need to download. We need to download the APR. And we need to do two of these. These actually need to be compiled before you can actually install, or compile Apache. So let's get the newest one here. So this one's APR utility. This one looks like it. Right, oh, here it is right here. It's 1.4.8 BZ. Download that one. Let's save it. And then we need to download the utility, APR utility. Let's download that one on here. The newest one looks like it's 1.52. Let's download that one. Save it. And there's another. Oh, whoops. We got to go back. We got to download the HTTP. So I was in the APR directory. Let's drag it all the way down here to HTTPD. Okay. Let's click on that. And let's bring it down here a little bit further. And let's download the newest the newest Apache server, which is 2.4.4. Let's download that one. If you're a Microsoft user, you don't even get to use this one. I guess you could compile it from source, but I don't know if there's a source for that version on there, but could be wrong. It's been a little while. So that one's downloaded. So let's download the other package, two of them that's required to make PHP work, and one more that requires it makes Apache work as well. So let's go back to Google, and let's type in PCRE. And here, let's see if this piece, I think that's how it's spelled. Let's try it. Yeah, it is. That's right. So it's pcre.org, Perl compatible regular expressions. And right here on the very first part of it, we want to do the newest one, which is 8.33. You notice this is an FTP download, so let's download it. And let's drag down the list down here. And let's do this one right here, the 8.33 tar.bz. Alright. Alright, let's close out of that one. And we got to get one more here. Actually, I don't want to close the web here. Let's go back to... Oh, actually, yeah, we can. We can close the web. Let's go back to our terminal. And we want to install one more package that's required by PHP. And that is yum install. I think it might be Y. Yeah, let's try install and see if it works. Install space libxml2-devel. Develop. This library is required to be able to make PHP install. Hit enter on it if it looks like it loads up. It's the correct name. It is. Looks like it's loading it. No problem. Let's answer. Whoops. Let's answer yes. Hit enter on it. Looks like it definitely needed it. Done just like that. Alright, so now, alright, PWD shows me what folder I am. I need to go to my downloads folder, and let's list them. You see my files that I have here that I downloaded. So let's go ahead and let's see, I'm logging on as YouTube. They're probably going to be downloaded as root, but let's go ahead and try this anyways. let's go ahead and type in tar-xvjf space. First one's APR.1. Enter on it. Just repeat the last command here, and I'm just going to put a UR-U. That one, XVF. Repeat this last command again, and just type in for HTTP. Unzip that one as well. And we want to do the PHP, so all I got to do is type in the first 3 letters like that, and all I'm doing is hitting tab. First 3 letters, and then it completes it, auto completes it for me. Pretty big file. So let's do an ls-l to reveal it and make sure that everything. Oh, the only one I didn't do is the PCRE. So let's tear up my arrow up key, and we'll type in PCR and then hit tab and uncompress that one. So there's 2 that we need to compile first. Okay, one, since we don't need to create another folder, will be the PCRE. Let's go to that one and compile that one. PCRE. And to compile this, so all you need to do, there's a configure file in here, so we can actually run it, so it's /configure. Just like so. Press enter on it. Alright, now we type in make. Looks like that was fine. And then type in make install. And it looks like it's going through no problem. Alright, looks like that's completely installed. So now we need to install something in the Apache directory or the HTTP directory. So we need to copy, or we need to make actually some files, and I wanted to show you that here. So you see what folder I'm in. I'm in home, YouTube, downloads, right? So now I need to change over to the HTTP folder. Remember, I'm just hitting the first 2 or 3 keys and hitting tab, and it auto completes. And I need to change over to a folder. It's called the source, but I need to look at the permissions on these files, and I want you to see that. So ls-l, and you notice that some of these, look at these 2 right here, these owners are owned by this, and let me show you what can happen. You notice that when I download this, and I don't know why it's doing that right by default, which is kind of strange. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I just don't know about that, but I know how to correct it, but I just don't understand why it's doing it from the compiled source. So maybe that's what somebody made theirs as, I don't know. Let's go to activities, and there's a little file utility on activities called files, and you can see that there's a permission on that folder. So let's go to downloads, and we'll go to the Apache folder, and look at that, it's got a lock on it. So we need to correct that to be able to add things to it. So to do that, let's go ahead and go back to the terminal here. And number 1, we can correct. I don't know if this one completely compiled. We're going to find out here when we try to compile PHP, but I believe it did. So what we want to do is type in the command chown, and I'm going to say that I want this one, that the YouTube user have full rights to this, and I'm going to hit asterisk to do everything in this folder. Hit enter on it. Remember, that's chown space. I'm this user. This is the user I'm logged on as. You notice it's up here. It says I'm logged on as YouTube. So right here. So let's go ahead and type this in here. ls-l, and you see now all of them are the owner. But you got to go into the subfolder as well. Now look, if we do this again, you notice that all of these are changed to that. So I need to do ch space YouTube. A little bit of slow down here. YouTube space asterisk, and then do everything in here as well. If I do ls-l, you notice I changed the name, and I need to do this I need to change over to the subfolder or the source folder here and give you a PWD. I'm going to show you where I'm at, what I'm talking about. See the path here? This is where you need to go to create these two folders. Okay? So you type in mkdir space APR. That's one directory you need to create. mkdir space APR dash UTIL. You need to create these two folders because we need to put and compile this little library in here before we can compile Apache from source. So we hit enter on those. So let's take a look back at it with ls-l, and both of them have been created with the root, which is okay. Let's take a look at it on here, and let's see. Let's go to our HTTP folder. Notice the lock is gone on there. Hold on, I missed it. Double click on this. And let's go to our source folder. Good, there's no lock on it. See, the reason is if you don't do that, you're going to have a lock on it. You won't be able to create any folders in there. So you look on it now, look, these have locks on them again. So apparently I need to go back in there and I need to run that again. So I know I'm logged on as root, but just to make things easy here, I'm going to do chown, and I'll put in YouTube again, colon, YouTube, and then space it out and put an asterisk on it. Alright, that way I have full access to it. If you go back and look in the files here, just so you know what's going on here. Okay, downloads, HTTP, source library, and you notice the locks are gone. Okay, so I can copy those data in there. So you can do this a couple of ways. You can go back into the folder here like this, and you could go to first. That's the utility one. I want to go to the APR one here like this, and you can just click in here and do Control A, right click, copy, and then go back to your Apache folder like this, and you go over here, go to the source library, and then the first one I wanted to do is the APR, and then right click in here and paste. Okay, that's one way to do it, kind of like a Microsoft way to do it. Here's how to do it in the command line. Okay, we'll do the other one in the command line. So what I'll do is I'll type in CP, which means copy, -R means copy everything including directories, and I'm going to tell it, I got to tell it where to copy it from. So home, and then YouTube, downloads, and I need a copy from the folder called APR, utility, and I want to say a / and then asterisk. That means copy everything in this folder to the destination, which is / home, and then YouTube, and then downloads, and then Apache, and then the source folder. Whoops, I did that right. Is that right? Nope. Here, I think I made a typo on it. There we go. / src, I think. Yep, that's it. And then the final destination is APR-utility. So I'm just doing it in a Unix way, hitting enter, and I just copied everything in there. So now I need to compile that folder, the APR folder. So I need to change over to APR, and let me give you a PWD so you know where I'm at. Notice where I am on home user. Now this is going to substitute for whatever your name of your server is, or just create this one so you can learn how to do the tutorial. That's what I would suggest. Downloads, and then HTTP 2.44, and then source library, and then APR. This is where we need to do the configure. Okay. Uh-oh, made a typo. / configure. Okay. Let's compile that one. It doesn't take too long. It is kind of neat just to see all the different things that it compiles. And believe me, some of you may have some problems and it may come up with an error. It just means that there's something missing that your system is required to have. So I'm going to type in make. This one takes a little bit to do. I might have to pause it. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I think I'll pause it. was actually quicker than I thought. So now I'm going to do make install and then hit enter as well. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Now we can compile a PHP and Apache. So let's go ahead. Let's see, which one should we do first? How about we do Apache first? So cd out of this one. We need to go back to the root folder of Apache, and you do that by typing in cd period period. It takes you back one folder. Okay, so pwd, I need to be in the Apache folder, and then I'm going to configure. I got a long configuration string here that we need to do, and I'll show you where you find that at. So you go to activities. We're going to go to the web, and let's go to Google, and we'll type in how to install MySQL and PHP support in Apache from source. Whoops, I made a typo on that. There we go. Let's see if this one will do what we want. See if this is the right one. This one looks like it might do it. So this is PHP for Apache. Let's see what this one says. Interesting. I don't think that's what I wanted. Let's see about this one. Yeah, this can take a little bit of doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the one that I originally wrote. And that one is, I thought was on my desktop. No, there it is, compile source. There we go. Go back and put this one back up here. Alright, so the command I want to do, actually, that is not the one I wanted to open it with. I need to open it with WordPad. Alright, and the command I'm going to use to do this with, oh, here it is right here. Here's to configure Apache. You know, it takes a little bit of time to find these kind of things out, so I'm going to have to type this in down here. I'll set it up like that so we can type it in. You can see it. So it's period / configure, and then -- with -apxs2. Now there's more than one way to do all of this, okay? This is just my method. Stop being annoying. Apache 2 space / bin /apxs space with -MySQL, and then we have to do one more, -- with included -apr. So I'll leave that on the screen there for a minute. Make sure that you have the spacing in the right place, but this is to support it with MySQL for Apache, so we can get it to run. We're gonna set it up to run PHP, but we're gonna add the commands in manually to run it inside the HTTP conf. So hit enter on this, and if everything works out, it should configure. This one is a pretty long one, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video until it's done. Alright, it looks like everything was okay, so I'm going to go type in the following command, make, and this one should be a long one. And go ahead and pause this too. Alright, it's finished. Alright, so that was make, and then let's do make install. You see, I paused it. It shouldn't take too much longer to run this one. It's making the directories and installing the software. And there we go. Alright, so Apache's compiled. It's not running yet, but we need to compile PHP. So let's go to the PHP folder. I need to make sure that we install this one file. I think we did. I think it's yum. Whoops. Install space lib xml2 -deve. I think we did that one already, but not gonna hurt. Yeah, it says it has the latest version. Okay, good. All right. So now let's change to the PHP folder. Whoops. Go back up directory. Okay, change to PHP. All right. So now we're going to configure this as well. So we got some switches to put on here. And let's take a look at this real quick. Ooh, did I have any special ones on there? Nope, let's look it up here real quick. So we can look it up on the main php.net site. php.net. And let's set up MySQL and PHP. That should probably do it for searching for it. It looks like it. To installing and configuring for it. Let's look and see if this is it. Manual install. I don't think so. Let's go back here. Not quite. Let's look under documentation here real quick. You know, it's funny that sometimes it's easier to do it from the web than it is from the site you're trying to find it from. Like this. Like go back to Google and type in compile PHP with MySQL and PHP. Wait, sorry. MySQL and Apache on Linux. Oh, looks like I've been here before. Let's see. Where's our PHP? That looks like the setup MySQL. I don't see start MySQL, test MySQL. This looks like the command we're looking for though, but I have seen. I like that we're going back to the PHP site. This is usually pretty good. We'll set something up. Let's go back to documentation on the PHP site. Let's see if we can find what we're looking for. I know this is going to be under English. And let's see here. We definitely have to install with MySQL support. Well, I thought I kept the commands to run for it. Compile, configure PHP with. Oh, here it is. I did already have it too. I don't think we can copy these in there, although I'm going to try it. Can't paste it in there, so here I need to bring this up down here at the bottom so I can type it in. Excuse me, it's going to be just out of your view. Configure dash with there we go, configure with dash apxs 2 equal / user / local / Apache 2 Apache 2 / bin / apxs dash with dash MySQL. And I believe that's it. That's all we have to do for PHP. This one might be one of the longest ones to compile, but every time I click pause on it, it finishes right away. So let's see if that's the case. Nope. I'm going to pause it until it's finished. Well, that was a short pause. Alright, so now we're going to do make. See if this one goes through pretty quick. Nope, this one looks kind of slow. Alright, so I'm going to let this one pause again. Okay, looks like it installed. Let's do the make install. Creating the folders there, it looks like. Alright, looks like we've got it going. Let's look at how to start it up manually. Go back to the PHP website. And let's see, let's go to documentation here. Click on English. And then we need to know how to set it up manually here. Here it is, installation on a Unix system. And we're doing Apache 2.0. Alright, let's see here. Let's come down where we add into it. It's where you compile it. Let's come down a little bit further here. Okay, here's something that we have to add into Apache to enable it. So let's go ahead and highlight this right here. This is to add a module into it. Copy, and we need to go back to our terminal. Alright, we're going to edit. So we're going to use VI and we're going to edit a file under, actually under user. This is the Apache file, by the way. Apache ph2, and we need to do this under the conf folder and httpd.conf. Okay, so vi, I'm going to run the editor and I'm going to add this command into it. So let's edit it. And I like to kind of just do this right down where it says where it has the modules. So we'll come down here. Yeah, see, we found the load modules right here. So I'm going to add everything I need to right at the end of this one. Well, Looks like it added it in there already. This is exactly what I was going to add in there. It looks like it did. If you look at this, watch. Paste. Modules. Yeah, it did. It added it in there automatically for us and edited it. So that's good. So when it compiled for the PHP, it added it in there. Let's just make sure that this last section is in here too. I think it's this one right here. Apache, certain files, example, Apache Express. Only using the Apache add type directive. It looks like it will work. So it looks like we already did compile it in there. Just take a look here just to make sure it's all working. Yeah, it looks like the settings are correct. So let's go ahead and start it up. You see this little command right here? This is showing you how to start the server up. Alright, let's go back in there real quick and fire up Apache. Whoops. Let's see if Apache has support. And I'm going to escape out of this. Q punctuation to quit out of it. CUSR, local, Apache. Oh, we got to go to the bin folder. You can see there's the Apache CTL. Oh, sorry, I do period / Apache CTL start. Looks like it started no problem. Let's look up PHP info to make a little test file. Yep, let's look down right here. There we go. Let's make a little program to show the examples to see if Apache is working. Copy. Back to activity. So we want to put this in this folder here. Actually, back one, we want to go to move this to HTTP docs. And you notice that's where our index file is, where it says it works. So if we went on here, now this is inside Firefox. It says it works, but we need to see if Apache's working too. So we need to make this little file. So I'm going to, you notice that I'm in that HTTP docs right now. So I'm going to say vi test.php and hit the I key to insert it. And let's paste in our little test info here. File. Actually, sorry. I want to hit Shift : Whoops, I want to hit a, whoop, didn't want that. That's a mistake. Need to get rid of that first. Okay, so I'm going to hit Escape, Shift and : and WQ. And then now what we want to do is on the local host here, let's type it in and put a / test.php and hit enter. And it looks like it's taking too long. Should have popped right up. So I think part of Apache's running, but it's not entirely enabled. So let's go back. And let's go back to the website. Ooh, excuse me, I'm sorry to be yawning. Gotta go back where this says, and I think we gotta add in one little more command here. I think we got to copy this php.ini. It says it's supposed to be under local lib php.ini. Let's take a look and see if there's actually one in there. Excuse me again. Local. Oh, there is a lib. So it's saying their localhost lib. It's saying they need to copy this file in there. So it's saying it's looking for it there. So is that truly where it's looking for it? Let's find out. Alright, so let's go to home. downloads. Let's change over to the PHP folder. And let's see, do I see a PHP config file in here? Yep, I sure do see it right there. Okay, so let's do PHP CP / home YouTube downloads PHP / php.ini development. We'll do development for now, and then I'm going to tell you this is where I want to copy it to. It's saying copy it to user local lib php.ini, and I'm going to put it in both places just to make sure here. php.ini development to php.ini. Okay, let's go back over to this folder and see if this is all I needed to do. Let's restart it. Let's try our page again. Nope, I need to activate something else in there. Okay, let's go back. And I think I need to add it because here was the module that I added in. And I think I got to add this in too. So there's going to be one example. Alright, let's add this little line in here too. Copy. And let's go back and edit our document again. Our VI document, which is Apache. So I'm going to edit VI again. Okay. VI HTTP conf. And let's come down here where the modules were. And I had it right here at the end of it. Right here. Insert. Paste. And let's see if that'll do it. Escape, WQ. To the bin folder. Period / Apache CTL. Stop, and then let's restart it. Let's give it a try again. And there we go. You now have a custom compiled from source MySQL, PHP, and Apache web server running on Fedora 18. As you can look through here, we're looking to see what the environment is and how it's set up and what options are enabled on it, the core, and take a look down here. We're looking for the MySQL plugin, and there it is right there. It says MySQL is enabled, so you can actually talk to it. How neat is that? So thank you for joining us. I know it's been a long journey and there's been a lot of setting changes on it, but it's worth it in the end of compiling your own source on your own machine. Thank you for joining us, and have a good night.